Welcome to the speaking section of the TOEFL IBT test. This section measures your ability to speak in English in an academic setting. There are 4 tasks in this section. You will be asked to express an opinion on a familiar topic, speak based on reading and listening tasks, and integrate your responses using academic content. You will have a limited amount of time to prepare and respond. Please speak clearly and at a natural pace. If you finish before the timer runs out, you may stop speaking. However, it's important to give a complete response. Let's begin with the first task. Task 1, Independent Speaking Task. Question: if you could have any job in the world, what would it be and why? Include specific reasons and examples to support your answer. Preparation time, 15 seconds. Response time, 45 seconds. Listening audio summary. Play time, 1 minute 30 seconds. 2 students are discussing their experiences with online and in-person classes. Student 1: I personally prefer in-person classes. For me, the classroom environment is crucial to staying focused and motivated. I find that I can pay better attention when I'm physically in the room and surrounded by my peers. Plus, I love the ability to ask questions directly to the professor during or after the lecture. It's more interactive, and you can get immediate feedback. Student 2: I see what you mean, but I'm more of an independent learner, so online classes work better for me. I appreciate the flexibility they offer. I can watch the lectures at any time, which fits better with my work schedule. I can also pause and rewind the videos if I don't understand something right away. Sure, it's a bit harder to connect with classmates, but I feel like I'm learning just as much, if not more, because I'm in control of my own pace. Student 1: but don't you feel like you miss out on the social interaction? I think that's one of the best parts about college, meeting new people and being able to discuss things in person. When you're just watching videos at home, there's no real connection, and that can make the whole experience feel pretty isolating. Student 2: I get that, but I think there are still ways to connect. Most online classes have discussion forums where you can communicate with classmates. And the professors are usually very responsive via email. I also find that the time saved on commuting makes a huge difference. I'm less stressed and have more time for studying and other activities. Student 1: I guess we just have different priorities. But I think if I could attend more in-person lectures, I'd be able to focus better and feel more involved. Student 2: That's fair, but for me, online classes offer the perfect balance between flexibility and learning quality. A biology professor is giving a lecture on circadian rhythms and their impact on health. Our internal biological clock, which controls circadian rhythms, is crucial for regulating our daily physical and mental states. One of the most important factors influencing these rhythms is light. When we are exposed to natural sunlight in the morning, it helps our brain produce cortisol, a hormone that makes us feel awake and alert. Conversely, when the evening approaches and light exposure decreases, our brain begins to release melatonin, a hormone that promotes sleep. However, modern lifestyle habits often disrupt these natural processes. For example, the use of electronic devices at night, which emit blue light, can interfere with melatonin production and make it difficult to fall asleep. This interruption not only affects sleep patterns but can also have broader effects on physical and mental health. Chronic disruptions to circadian rhythms are linked to a variety of issues, including memory impairment, mood disorders, and decreased productivity during the day. Therefore, it is important to maintain a regular sleep schedule and minimize exposure to artificial light at night to protect our circadian rhythms and overall health. A psychology professor is explaining the concepts of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Motivation plays a significant role in influencing behavior, and it can be divided into two main types: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation refers to doing something because it is inherently enjoyable or fulfilling. For example, someone might read a book for pleasure because they genuinely enjoy the content and the experience of reading. This type of motivation comes from within, and it tends to be more sustainable and rewarding in the long term. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation comes from external factors or rewards. People are driven by the expectation of receiving something in return, like money, grades, or recognition. For example, a student may study hard for an exam to earn a high grade, or a bonus at work may motivate an employee to perform better. While extrinsic rewards can effectively encourage certain behaviors in the short term, intrinsic motivation tends to lead to greater satisfaction and long-term success. In many situations, a combination of both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation is necessary. For instance, in education and the workplace, intrinsic motivation encourages deep learning and personal growth, while extrinsic motivation can help set goals and reward accomplishments.
Answer: if I could have any job in the world, I would choose to be a travel photographer. I've always had a passion for exploring new places and capturing the beauty of the world through a lens. Being a travel photographer would allow me to combine my love for adventure with my creativity. I would be able to travel to different locations, whether they are bustling cities or serene natural landscapes, and photograph moments that tell a story. Another reason I would choose this profession is the ability to share experiences with others. Through my photographs, I could inspire people to visit new places, try new things, and see the world from a different perspective. It's a job that not only allows me to express my creativity but also brings joy to others by showing them the beauty of the world around us. Additionally, being a travel photographer gives me the flexibility to work independently. I can choose the destinations I visit, set my own schedule, and decide how I approach each project. This freedom is important to me because it would allow me to balance work and personal interests, all while pursuing something I truly enjoy. In conclusion, being a travel photographer would provide the perfect blend of creativity, exploration, and independence. It's a job that allows me to turn my passion for photography and travel into a fulfilling career.
Answer: the reading passage discusses the advantages and disadvantages of both online and in-person classes. In-person classes offer the benefit of direct interaction with professors and classmates, creating a stronger sense of community and providing immediate feedback. This can make learning more engaging and allows students to get clarification on the spot if they have questions. However, online classes offer significant flexibility, especially for students who have busy schedules or live far from campus. The ability to study at any time and from any location can be a big advantage for people with work commitments or other responsibilities. On the other hand, the reading notes that online classes may not be as engaging due to the lack of face-to-face interaction. And students might experience delays in getting responses from instructors. In the listening passage, the two students share their personal experiences. Student 1 prefers in-person classes because of the interaction and focus they provide. They feel that being physically present in a classroom allows them to concentrate better, and they appreciate the ability to ask questions directly during or after lectures. The student also values the sense of community that in-person classes foster, allowing them to collaborate with classmates. On the other hand, student 2 prefers online classes for their flexibility. They find it easier to balance studying with work, as they can learn at their own pace and watch lectures whenever they have time. However, student 2 acknowledges that online classes can feel isolating and sometimes miss the interpersonal connections that come with attending classes in person. Both the reading and the listening passage highlight the need for students to choose a class format that aligns with their personal preferences and life circumstances. While in-person classes foster interaction and focus, online classes provide much-needed flexibility. For students who prioritize flexibility do. Answer: the reading passage explains that circadian rhythms are internal processes that regulate the sleep-wake cycle, typically repeating every 24 hours. These rhythms influence various physiological functions, such as hormone release, body temperature, and metabolism. Light plays a major role in regulating these rhythms, as exposure to natural light in the morning signals the brain to increase alertness, while reduced light exposure in the evening signals the body to prepare for sleep. Disruptions to circadian rhythms, such as irregular sleep schedules or too much exposure to artificial light, can lead to sleep disorders, fatigue, and even cognitive impairments. The professor in the listening passage further elaborates on the importance of light in regulating circadian rhythms. They explain that exposure to natural sunlight in the morning helps the body release hormones like cortisol, which make us feel awake and alert. Conversely, in the evening, when light decreases, melatonin is produced to promote sleep. However, the professor also highlights that modern lifestyles often disrupt these natural rhythms, particularly due to the excessive use of electronic devices late at night. These devices emit blue light, which can suppress melatonin production and make it harder for individuals to fall asleep. The professor warns that this disruption can have serious consequences, leading to problems like memory impairment, mood disorders, and reduced productivity during the day.
The professor explains that there are two main types of motivation: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation comes from within an individual. It refers to doing activities for their own sake because they are inherently enjoyable or fulfilling. For instance, someone may read a book simply because they enjoy the experience of reading, not because they are expecting any external reward. Intrinsic motivation is driven by internal satisfaction, and people who are intrinsically motivated tend to engage in tasks with passion and dedication. The professor highlights that intrinsic motivation often leads to greater personal fulfillment and long-term success because it fosters a deeper connection to the activity. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation involves performing tasks to achieve external rewards such as money, grades, or recognition. For example, a student might study hard for an exam to earn a good grade, or an employee might work extra hours to get a bonus. While extrinsic motivation can be effective in encouraging specific behaviors, the professor notes that it might not be as sustainable or satisfying in the long term as intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic rewards can drive people to complete tasks, but they may not necessarily foster a deep or lasting commitment to the activity. The professor emphasizes that both types of motivation are important in different contexts. In educational and work environments, a balance of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation is often required. Intrinsic motivation encourages people to learn for the sake of learning, fostering a deeper and more personal connection to their work. However, extrinsic motivation can also play a role in setting goals and rewarding accomplishments. For example, a student might be motivated to study hard for an exam because they are intrinsically interested in the subject, but the external reward of a good grade may help them stay focused and complete the course requirements. Likewise, in the workplace,